All right, folks, we are at the storied Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto, hanging out with Brent. Brent Cobb. Brent, thanks for doing this with us.
Man, thanks for having me.
We have a mutual friend, Eric Dillon. He co-wrote one of your songs on your last album. Mm-hmm. So many killer songwriters down in Nashville, including yourself. How is it when you're writing an album for your current album that things get launched in your head and who you want to work with?
Oh, I don't know. I sort of have a set crew of folks that I really enjoy writing with, Eric being one of them, or Philip White, who also wrote The World with me on the last record. And a lot of times I write a lot by myself, and I'll have like a verse and chorus or have a song that I'll bring in, and I'll know exactly, who I want to bring that into.
You already know their background and how they write?
They put up with my ass, really, is what... Can I say it?
Yeah, you sure can.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so getting a chance to write with so many incredible artists down in Nashville, moving from Georgia into Nashville, was it a big change for you?
Not crazy. It was, and it's about a 7.5-hour drive, so it's not too bad. It's just enough it makes it a long trip to go home and see family, that sort of thing. But no, it wasn't crazy. I lived there for 10 years, and it was the first place. I lived in the middle of Hollywood before I lived in Nashville, so it was a little easier to digest for me than Hollywood was. Not that Hollywood's a bad place. I was just young and didn't know anything,
Gotcha.
And but since I've relocated back to South Georgia.
Okay, so it's nice to be home.
It is nice to be home.
Well, you're on a 3-week run right now. This will be your first, I think Toronto's your first show in this 3-week run. When you're on the road, what is it that, makes you get by every day?
Me and my daddy were just talking about this in the old days of touring. You were gone, man. When you were gone, you were really gone. So now we have FaceTime, or even when I first moved to L.A., I had a sock full of quarters to use the payphone, and this is in like 2005, and some people already had flip phones and stuff, but I didn't have a phone. So definitely FaceTime makes it a lot easier, and I'm able to talk to my daughter every day, and
that makes it easy.
Yeah.
A lot of artists, when we ask that question, the FaceTime seems to come up all the time now, just because Jaron Johnson from Cadillac 3, able to see his kid,
it's amazing.
And stuff like that. So it's awesome. You got a brand new album dropping in May. Want to give us the title of it?
Providence Canyon. So Providence Canyon is we call it the Little Grand Canyon where I'm from. It doesn't sound that spectacular when I tell you, but it's this canyon that formed from years and years and years, decades of terrible farming practice, and it just is erosion, and it's this huge, beautiful, red clay walled canyon, and
can you swim in the bottom?
There's water in there. Yeah, you can. I'm sure I've never swam in there, but I'm sure you can.
Maybe not recommended depending on how fast it's running, but when you were putting this album together, and this is so cliche, but was there a certain feel that you were looking for this album specifically?
Well, a little bit, but we wanted. Dave and I have tried to make a country funk album since '06. I don't know that we've done it yet, but that's always what we're going for, and it's been fun to try to make that album.
Yeah.
This one is definitely more getting down the road, because we did so much touring last year, and we were on tour with the Stapletons at huge venues, these 20,000-seater venues. Not that we were playing during our set for 20,000 people, but
you were there.
We were there. We might have been playing for half of that, which is still much more than we normally play for.
Yeah.
And so a lot of this album, I wanted to beef it up a little bit, get a little.
Is the live show a thought process when you're making the album, though?
Yeah.
Like you want to
make sure. Just the feel, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure you get like a party song in there that you know it's going to be a good one and everybody's going to grasp onto. Is that kind of...
Yeah, well, it just inspires when you get out and you're playing for any crowd. Last year we did a lot of touring with Nikki Lane. Her crowd is, they want to jam a little bit, and you just get inspired by that. What's in the air,
So let's go back to the Great American Road Show that you did last year. You did a stop here at Budweiser Stage. Mm-hmm. It was a packed house.
Oh, yeah.
What's it feel like to come up to Canada and like you say, look out to 18,000 or even 10,000 people and know that they're listening to your music.
Well, it's amazing, man. I mean, I don't know what you mean by even Canada. I mean, the whole world is that country, man. Everybody's country. Everybody's kind of rural, and everybody's a little bit red, you know.
Yeah, little redneck. Brent Cobb, folks, May 11th, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
I think May 11th. Providence Canyon hits the streets. Remember, you can download it anywhere you get good music. And remember, if you don't like good music, we don't like you. Thanks, Brent.
Thanks, man.
Hey.